So the shoe is pretty lightweight and feels great in your hand right out my ashy ass box. That's right, I'm blaming the box. You can definitely feel the quality. It's New Balance after all. And most prominent companies have it together on the very baseline level. So no English. No surprises there. It's a low bar to clear. But generally, versus everyone else, I feel like New Balance tends to be clearing the bar, the low bar, the high bar, the medium bar, every bar better than, like pound for pound. Like if you summarize all of their shoes across the board and other shoes, all the shoes of another brand across the board, it seems to be. I can be wrong, but they got their misses, and I think this is kind of like this one ain't hitting like that. But the build material is soft but really sticky suede, and insanely sticky and grippy rubber midsole and outsole. And it just makes for a good flick. And there's a good amount of width to these for sure, so that's always a plus. And I do mean it's like seriously grippy. It's been a while since I had such sticky grip. That is crazy. That's like the sock in your corner that you forget about, and you know what you be doing with the sock, man. I don't even got to tell you what you be doing. I'm talking about Mick Foley Mankind. You're just a fan of Mick Foley Mankind. Okay? Nothing crazy.
Yeah, that nigga Mick looking thick. Mick looking thick. Somebody said from the top rope. I ain't say that shit. Who said that shit?
Nasty motherfucker. And lastly, depending on the model, it's topped off with that cow or pig leather in some areas, specifically the toe cap, I believe, and all the. I don't want to think about that. Now, instantly, it felt broken in with lots of like all-around flex, and it adapted to my foot quite well. Like the up and down motion of your foot, it just felt seamless. It wasn't really stiff or anything like that. It had a lot of board feel to me as well right away. At most, if that, you may have to get used to the sticky outsole grip, which after time. Like it remains sticky, don't get me wrong, but it gets far less sticky because my grip was already not the newest. But when I put that on there, when I put these on and stepped on my board, it turned that grip into my grip. Pretty damn good grip though, but it had been probably like a week old already or something like that. But this just turned it into some sticky ass grip. On the very bottom, you can see some of that midsole like foam peeking through that seems to have gotten softer and made these actually like a bit more comfortable. On the very bottom, you can see some of that midsole foam peeking through that seems to have gotten softer and made these actually a bit more comfortable to be in versus the not uncomfortable or bad but bland out the box and first two sessions just blandness, plain nothingness, if you will, that you first get. But then now it just feels good. It feels pretty damn good. I feel my feet sinking into that midsole foam and like slightly rebounding off of it, and if it didn't have that, it would probably be cooked because you can kind of feel the ground. But surprisingly, I haven't hurt my feet on flat ground, low bar to clear, but some shoes don't clear, especially if I'm feeling my feet on the ground. But that wasn't the case with these. And then even with the impact section we're going to get to, I didn't feel any of that.
But I did in fact feel the wind beneath my wings for a second. Got that ortho light, nice touch. Thin, so there's going to be board feel still. Oh, it came out. And then there's a nice little, this is Barney's ass, right?
So despite that, these are actually getting a good amount of board feel and an adequate amount of protection, especially for like a vulcanized shoe. And again, prior to that softness, that extra softness that kind of kicked in, that didn't mean it hurt or it wasn't supportive or it was bad. It was just bland. Anyways, the shoe, of course, starts off looking fantastic, and the build quality is superb. The actual composition of things, specifically the rubber, just wasn't holding up for me. That is where you see the most amount of damage, followed by, and less so, that suede toe cap bumper, which means the suede is of better quality or is less susceptible to the abrasion damage, at least with my skate pattern. To the extent you see any damage, it is like really superficial on that suede. It in part can be from the fact that the rubber toe cap bumper naturally is going to eat up some more damage because it's like the first point of contact, but ultimately you're hitting on more than just that particular area of the toe cap bumper at any given time as well, so that you're like hitting on the suede as well. And the suede is standalone. There's nothing protecting the suede. The suede is just standalone, so that to the extent it takes damage, like on ollies and kickflips and all these other things where you roll your ankle and the top part of your foot is on that, yeah, that rubber ain't doing much. So just to stand alone, that suede is pretty good. I believe heel flips too. I don't know if I said heel flips already. I'm avoiding heel flips because I lost them somehow. Black as I may be, or is it just switch? Even those are gone too. We gone. I was wondering why my credit went up. The on the foot feel, again, like I said, it's supportive and it's on par with vulcanized shoes. but it's still nothing like really spectacular. I wonder if that softness is because it's been baking in my car in triple digit heat. So they got, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I mean, if it is, then throw you in there or in the microwave. It's crazy because you probably would have been skating them over. That's dirty. That's crazy no matter what. The microwave gonna be smelling like child labor for weeks, man. No, but for whatever reason it got softer. I'm guessing you just running around skating in them, and okay, maybe my feet stank, nigga. But you should experience that same like level of softness. I'm saying, regardless of if you throw it out leave it in the heat or not. I mean, after a little bit of that impact, unless it takes a sharp turn, keep that in mind. It could take a sharp turn. It hasn't been the most amount of time. These are actually, despite feeling the ground and despite that bulging, like the outsole is kind of bulging, like how the traditional Vans grip is that I would complain about. Like I can push my foot through the bottom, through the outsole, and you see it imprinting. Like, despite that, again, I haven't hurt my feet on flat, let alone off of stuff. I'm preparing for the landing as much as I possibly can too, though. I'm trying to land as even-footed as I can and even roll out when possible. But that being said, like, I'm coming down pretty high, despite how low that thing is. And I have not had any issues. 180 pounds, 5'11", 5'12", I'm 5'15", nigga. I'm 5'8", or something like that, man. I'm barefoot right now, talking right here, nigga. I'm 5'4", nigga. We gonna stand on this box, man. Get this motherfucker, man. Of course, with the full review, I will update you when they do start to take a turn and generally hurt more all around than not. But I'm gonna see if that's within the normal range, because there's a normal range for things. For me, it's typically 2 weeks. Anything after the 2 week mark, that's okay, and that's pretty much acceptable. And that's just like the normal degradation. It's not premature. Anything like kind of below that, give or take 1 or 2 days, then that's like that's bad. That's like on the lower end of things. Some shoes hurt, again, out the box. Some shoes hurt within a week, and it's not a good thing. Wait, you see how the bottom pushes through a little bit like that? Like my foot. Oh no. Oh no. Look at it. Oh shit. Look at. So far these are hitting like your average Volk. So you probably don't want to jump off shit. Although I've had Vulcanized shoes where I had a ton. That's not a word. But I have had plenty where I'm okay jumping off stuff. These would probably be okay. It's pretty early on though, but there's a good amount of wear into them. But I mean, for whatever metrics you are using, it's hitting. So if it was hitting anything, I think the bar is low to clear right now is what I'm saying, but it's been clearing all those low bars. And right now, even just the raw jumping, making sure I'm taking that impact, it's been pretty good to go. Oh no, oh no, oh no. You see how thin that is worn? It's just so flush, but I feel like it stopped.
But at a certain point, it can only stop so much. That's about to give right there. That is about to give. Yeah, you see how it's just flush? Let me see, where's the toe cap? But right there, see that bump? My ashy finger just stopped right there. Just met with resistance on that bump. But see, it just flushes out. It's just flush. And that happened pretty early on, so. And not just in a particular hit zone, but this whole little, that's not good. That whole little area is. Oh, I didn't know when that happened. I didn't know when that happened. But it's 5 days in though. But much of this happened pretty early on. Again, it's kind of slowed up, but it's still, it's a problem. It's a problem. It's definitely a problem. And now that's starting to, that probably won't be a real issue. I'm coping right now. It's not good. This isn't coming up though. That would be more of an issue I'd be worried about. But I mean, with newer grip, let alone with mob or something, yeah, this is not hitting good. I still got some life in them though. Still got some life in. Oh, is it still? It's still on. Yep, still got some life in them. But yeah, these are not for 90. Nah, it's not lasting long enough. Not even close. So imagine some newer grip. Man, these might have really been cooked in under those circumstances. Other than that, I would say I get these on sale. Well, if I were to get these, I would get them on sale, but I wouldn't even get them, is what I'm trying to say. Based on other shoes they have in their lineup and other brands too, but I would just get the Jamie Ford cup soles too. Motherfuckers hit. They hit. You would not get these if you particularly jump to begin with. If you're like an actual jumper, you're jumping off some shit. This is knee high. This is some I'm popping high and stuff like that, but it's not that high. So if you really jump, you probably ain't skating vulcanized shoes to begin with, and or you have your replacement insoles, which you're going to need with these, is what I'm trying to say.